Chris, how proud are you of the group to progress through to another grand final?
Yeah, it's a pretty fair effort, isn't it, to get to 3 in a row. But we can't spend too much time patting ourselves on the back. But I love tonight the way that we responded after Collingwood looked like going to rip the game away from us in that second quarter. And at half time, we were looking down the barrel a little bit, but the response was emphatic and really mature by the team. Mature by a team that's not very old. A lot of young guys out there playing. And in front of a big audience like that, most of them wearing black and white, I thought it showed a lot of mental strength. But I also thought we played really tough as well, so we showed a lot of physical courage as well. So just really wrapped with the performance.
What was the key to that turnaround early? You know, the 3 goals in 5 minutes, which really got you back into the game at the start of that third quarter. What happened at half time, Chris?
Oh, well, I didn't rant and rave. We've had a bit of a theme going all week. I suppose I can let the cat out of the bag that you know, I know we beat them a few weeks ago, but we felt as a team that we couldn't sort of get any redemption for that loss in the 2023 grand final until we actually were able to beat Collingwood in a final. And we've been talking about that a fair bit all week, and we talked about that again at half time and sort of said, that's what we want to do. So whether that helped the group do what they did, I'm not sure, but that was one of the themes all week. It wasn't meant in a derogatory way to Collingwood. It was just about us and how we felt about that grand final and how can we get a bit of redemption. So we got a little bit tonight. Not the same as a losing grand final performance, but still an opportunity to go and have another go at winning another one.
What impact do you think your younger players had in the game, especially late on?
Yeah. I think they all had an impact. Ty Gallup in his 5th game kicked 3 goals in the final and took 3 contested marks. I think he's got a bright future. So we're pretty lucky to have him and Logan Morris in our team. You know, Logan's 20 and Ty's 19. Levi Ashcroft's been terrific for us all year, another 19-year-old. I thought Sam Marshall was quite good on the wing. Once he gets his confidence and he knows he belongs at this level, he's going to be a terrific player for us. So you got those, and then you've got, obviously Will Ashcroft and Logan himself, Logan Morris, Jasper Fletcher, who plays some great fitting, Darcy Wilmot. Our club's in a pretty healthy situation at the moment. We shouldn't take it for granted, but with so many young players playing and a lot of them having already played in a lot of finals footy, the future's bright. But we've got to turn our focus now to the narrow focus, which is the grand final next week, which will be a very, very hard game to win.
If you had a fit list, do you think you'd have as many of those under 22-year-olds playing in your team tonight?
Sorry?
If you had a fit list, do you think you'd be picking as many of those under 22?
If we had a fit list, it's hard to know, isn't it? Crisis creates opportunity. Sometime it did for us last year, with Kai Lohman and Logan Morris and those guys. So it's hard to say. I mean, it's a pretty good list of players not playing. If you throw Joe Danaher in, who's still had a year to go on his contract. So it's a fair effort, but it speaks to the depth of our football club. And the good thing is Darcy Gardner and Oscar McInerney didn't get an opportunity to play in the grand final last year because they were injured, and they're going to get a chance next week, which is exciting.
How much work, Chris, is Lachie Neal going to do to try and improve his fitness?
Well, he's doing a lot of work, and he had a really good training session this morning. So it's looking more positive than negative at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see how he gets through the week. I mean, it won't be long before we're back down here, because I think we're coming back down on Wednesday. We'll see how he goes. But he is I didn't think he'd be a chance to play, but I think he is a chance to play.
How big a risk or big a call would it be to?
I don't know. I've got to talk to the medical people about that. They'll make a sensible decision. If it's too risky, it won't happen. But if they don't think it is, then we'll play him. I mean, Lockie's got big calves. Have you seen them? They're massive. I think he's actually got an extra muscle in his, I've been told. So we'll see what happens.
What about Jared Berry, Chris? What can you tell us about him?
The medical staff haven't written him off either. So we'll wait and see. I mean, it didn't look good, and obviously he couldn't continue the game. But again, the risk will be if he plays, will it pop out again? So lots to talk about there. I haven't really had a chance to talk to our medical staff. We'll just wait and see. But one thing I do know is you can't take unfit players into grand finals. It just doesn't work. So we'll make a common sense decision. Yes.
So Chris, from the coaching perspective, what are some of the things that you're going to think about over the next couple of days from a mindset perspective to turn the tables from what transpired a couple of weeks ago against the Cats? What are some of the things you really think you're going to have to do better, but also more importantly, focus in on over the next couple of days to really distribute next week?
You're such going to let me enjoy this win for 2 seconds and you fire a question like that at me. What we'll do is we've obviously already had a close look at what happened in that game, and we'll have another close look as a coaching group as to what Geelong did to us. I mean, it was pretty obvious they tagged a couple of our better players, and they'll probably want to do that again. They tried to tag McCluggage tonight, and he played a magnificent game. So, part of the response to that's going to be, well, the blokes that got tagged got to do a better job next time. So we'll look at that. We'll look at the way that they move the ball. We'll do a thorough examination. At the same time, we have a level of confidence. Prior to that game against Geelong, we'd won the last 3 times, so it's not like we don't know how to beat them. We respect them enormously, and we know it's going to be very, very hard. And they're probably going to be a tad fresher than us because they didn't have to play last week. But what I know about this group is they've got tremendous spirit, and that can't be questioned, and that they'll be deadly keen to give a good account of themselves next week.
Especially in light of what happened today, Chris, how much is Hugh McCluggage looking forward to a rematch against the Cats?
Yeah, well, he was really disappointed with the way that he played last game, and he probably has never experienced. He's been tagged before this year, but probably not like that. I mean, that guy did a great job. But look, Huey's gone to work on that ever since that happened. He didn't get tagged last week, so he didn't have to worry about it. He got some attention tonight, dealt with it really well. When he's walked away with 37 possessions, huge game. 10 clearances. Arguably our best player. So that's the sort of guy that he is. He learns from the experiences that he has, and he'd be very determined because he knows that if he gets a reputation that he succumbs to taggers, then that's not a good reputation to have. So he's going to fight like hell to make sure that doesn't happen.
Where do you think this team has grown since its first?
Sorry, mate?
Where do you think this team's grown the most? Now it's in 3 grand finals in a row, comparing to the first.
Where's it grown the most? It's a hard question. I guess if you're playing a lot of finals and you get to a lot of grand finals, you have a lot of experiences along the way, and you learn how important moments are. It gets talked about every year come finals time. It's probably almost a bit boring and a bit cliche, but it's so true in finals. Finals come down to moments, and we had plenty of good ones tonight. We had a lot of contributors, which is the other thing. And I think the one thing you do learn as you go along is the week and how you prepare and not get distracted by everything that goes on, and just embrace it and enjoy it. I think in our first campaign against Collingwood in 2023, we probably didn't. Last year we did. We handled it a lot better, and I'll go into this week's grand final knowing that we can emulate that again. So even though we have got a few young blokes who have not played in a grand final before, so the older guys will help them along, which they've done brilliantly all year. Really real credit to our leadership group of players who have taught a few young blokes how to play pretty good AFL football pretty quickly.
Speaking of moments, what went through your mind when Stars put that front on spoil on Jamie Elliott and no free kick was paid? Chris, that was a pretty critical moment in the game.
Yeah, was it a free kick, do you think? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the replay. All I know is that Stars did everything he could to spoil that ball, which is all we can ask for as a coach, and then it's up to the umpires to make whatever decision that they make. So I'm proud of him for doing that, and you're right, it probably was at a delicate stage in the game. That's the way it goes. Preliminary finals are like that. They're emotional, fast-paced, crazy games of football. That both games have been like that. Yeah, last night was, and I think tonight was as well. So, I'll let all the experts on umpiring decide what should have been paid there.
Will you follow the same preparation as you did for the the grand final last year when you come back to Melbourne?
I think so. We're doing that up with Dan, so we'll be back here on Wednesday. Quick flight home tonight. Do our recovery. Don't think there'll be a lot of training going on this week. It's probably more recovery, just so we've got energy to go again next Saturday. Yeah, we'll be down here on Wednesday and soak up all the atmosphere of grand final week.
What was the issue with Josh Dunkley when he went down into the rooms? Third quarter?
Yeah, he rolled his ankle and had to have it retaped, but was able to come back onto the ground, so he'll be fine for next week. I think he was moving pretty well after that, I'm sure. Wasn't he? I think so. I didn't notice him anyway. Thank you very much.